Tales of the Lore Keeper, Episode 7. She Waits for Me. Written, voiced, and produced by Jojo Kaiser, with a special guest voice as Father Croven, the Mr. Headache. His links can be found in the description down below.
Hello, and welcome. You must be L'Oreal. Father Campbell said if we ever encountered an oddity, we should call you.
I am. A beautiful church you have here. Father Campbell's was much more restrained.
He was good, but a stubborn man. My name is Father Croven. We spoke over the phone.
Yes, of course. So, where is he?
He is in the basement. We brought a bed down there for him. He hasn't come out in 2 weeks.
What keeps him here?
I think it's best that he tells you. I will say, though, I thought the boy mad when he first arrived. But I have seen what he fears, with my own eyes, and felt its touch upon my own skin. He is right to hide. I do hope you can help him.
Unfortunately, Father, my job is not to provide direct aid, only to take his story for those who need the information to fight the horrors of our world.
Well, at least he will have someone to talk to.
No! No, please!
Jason, it's me, Alex. Okay, son. I brought the man I told you about. He's here to listen to your story.
Hello, Jason. I am the Lore Keeper. It is good to meet you, son.
Well, I shall leave the two of you alone. When you are done, pull the bell string by the door. I'll come back down.
So, do I just start talking? Yes. I will write everything down. And what will that do? Inform the next. Well, it's better than nothing, I suppose. I guess I should start with who I am. Maybe someday I can make it out of this mess alive. My name is Jason Francis, and this all started when I moved here to Los Angeles. I moved here for the same reason others do. I always liked the idea of being on the big screen. Throughout my school years, I begged my mom for a camera, and I took all the classes I could. Acting, film editing. Started a YouTube channel back in 2009. I uploaded these really bad short films where I played all the characters. By the time I was in high school, I was in the theater, and a lot of people said I had what it took to be a big star. So, of course, I used my college fund to move out here and pursue my dreams. It's not all sunshines and rainbows, you know. You get told your whole life you'll be something, but then when it doesn't turn out the way you plan, you doubt yourself. I took the generic route. Became a waiter at some hole-in-the-wall to make ends meet. Got a run-down, overpriced apartment downtown. Lived off ramen and baked beans. Went hungry a couple times. I got my big break after about a year. An audition came up for a pretty significant movie called The Widow and Her Son. I played the new boyfriend. I still remember the audition like it was yesterday. It was pretty normal at first. Thing about Hollywood is when you get those auditions, you'll see thousands of guys even that look just like you. But anyway, I went to the room, and as part of the crew of people who were there to judge whether or not you can have a career in the field was Emily Dora. She had that kind of body that turns an atheist man religious. Beautiful dark brown eyes and long red hair that hung down to her back. I could go on and on about how beautiful she is. I am a professional though, and I kept my composure enough to ace that audition. The filming took 2 years, and it was long and hard. But over time, I got to know Emily. We would talk for hours some nights, and I swore to her after filming I would take her out someday. She laughed that shy laugh women do when they think you're joking about how much you like them. Truthfully, I don't even know where I was getting the courage. She was way out of my league. Hell, out of anyone's league. I don't think anyone could possibly be enough for her. But after filming, she actually let me take her out. We went to a nice restaurant called the Le de la Rose. It's one of those places with a dress code and a menu that makes you question your financial decisions. But for her, it was worth it. When the private screening for the cast members happened, we went together as a couple. I couldn't believe it. We were a couple. I was so happy. And life was good. We went to the staff screening together. The movie was great. All our hard work really paid off, you know? I had so much fun. She laughed. We both cried. Held each other's hands throughout most of the movie. They say absence makes the heart grow fonder, and that may be true, but truly every day I spent with Emily made me feel more and more in love with her. It started out as a physical attraction. I wanted her body and her face. I still do. I still did. But as time went on, I wanted her heart, her laugh, her voice. I longed for her touch, her stories, the light she shined upon my darkened days. I wanted Emily. I remember this one day, in the third year of our relationship, we were living together. I had a terrible day on set of some low-budget TV show. I don't remember the name. I had texted her about it, and I came home to find my favorite meal on the table and the song we first danced to on the record player. She gave me a new outlook on life. After a while, it became apparent to me that, I moved out to be an actor, but I found something more. And eventually, I did what I had to do. I asked her to marry me. I bought the biggest ring I could afford, which, with the residuals from the movie, it was quite a big one. And she agreed. The wedding was wonderful, full of laugh and love. We had so many people there. We had to book a big venue, and even then there was more people than we expected. We invited her family and my family. I still tear up thinking about it, man. A couple years ago, on our third wedding anniversary, I booked a cabin out in the woods in Colorado. I don't know if you've ever been out there, but it is beautiful. And the way you kind of connect with nature, the smell of the river in the morning with some coffee and some freshly baked muffins. We would listen to the birds for hours, just enjoyed the beauty of it all. There was one problem, though. Every night, for the first 4 nights we were there, I would hear strange whispers without words or cohesion. It was so unsettling. I kept checking the house and outside, and I asked Emily if she heard them, but she said no. I figured it was maybe some tree branches on the window or the way the wind was blowing through the roof or something. But when I asked her about it, she looked worried. I dropped it. I didn't want to concern her anymore, scare her. We had a couple days left. I think the moment it all changed was the morning I felt her get up from our bed. It was 3 a.m. I opened my eyes to find her gone. I thought I heard her downstairs. She said something sounded like, "Please, no." But it wasn't a panic. It was almost like she was asking someone not to eat the last slice of pizza, She was a shy woman. She wasn't confrontational. She came back to bed shortly. I asked her if she was doing all right, and she simply said, "Bathroom." But her voice, it sounded different, as if she was more confident. The rest of the trip went by without the whispers, but after that trip, things started to change. My sweet, shy Emily started getting more bold, more forward. She would get in arguments with people at the store or restaurants. She damn near forced me into sex. Not that I'd tell her no, but it was like she never initiated it before, and now she was shoving me onto the bed. Eventually, I'd find myself losing the woman I fell in love with and married. The breaking point for me was when I came home from a 2-month shoot in Manhattan, and she was sitting on the couch in complete filth. Nothing was clean. The house I had left looked more like a crack den. Now, I'm no chauvinist or misogynist. I don't do those traditional gender roles crap. I even help out when I'm home, but if I'm the only one working, I expect the house to be upkept while I'm at work, you know? In any case, I told her I was tired of her laziness, her crass, her attitude, and I wanted a divorce. That was a mistake. She attacked me. We actually fought, like, fist to face. I eventually got away from her, and I ran to the police. A lot of calls and paperwork, and paying later, I got a restraining order. And I didn't see her for a week. I remember the first time I saw her after that. She was standing outside a sandwich shop across from my normal cafe, staring at me. I just ignored her. Over the next few months, I'd come to see her everywhere, always a ways away, stalking me. I don't know why I never reached out to the police. I guess I figured if she wasn't doing anything but watching, I'd just ignore her. A few months after the divorce, I started dating again. I met a nice young woman named Brianna. She was an intern for one of the makeup effects artists on one of the movies I was filming. We started out with a few coffee dates, and then we went out to a movie and dinner. And when I brought her home a couple weeks ago, that was the biggest mistake. I woke up next to Brianna. Her head... I'm sorry. Fuck. Her head was gone, man. And Emily was standing at the end of the bed. She was laughing, telling me that I promised to love her forever, and now I had to. I got so terrified, man. I flew out of the bed. I ran to my car. In the rearview mirror, I could see Emily running after me, almost animalistic, as if she was chasing her prey. I didn't know where else to go. I went to this church as a kid, and when I burst in, I looked behind me to see Emily standing just outside the church grounds. Father Croven heard my story told through rushed, panting panic. He went outside to tell her to go away, and she grabbed him by the throat. He grabbed his rosary, and he struck her across the face, and then I fell to my knees. The cross burned a mark into her cheek. She dropped him and screamed a scream of pain. He scrambled back in, and we watched her for a while. And I realized she couldn't come in. So now, I sit here in this basement, knowing that Emily cannot cross hallowed ground. And I guess I can never leave again. Mr. Francis fell asleep after that. Probably worn out from the anxiety, depression even. I tried to look for Emily when I left, and I think I might have saw her. However, the human that was described to me was no longer what I was seeing. It was a monster of twisted proportions. Very similar to the hags who I've read about who change their shape in order to trick young men into marrying them. I contacted Mr. Croven after I got back. He explained to me through a letter of correspondence that Mr. Francis has decided to take on the act of becoming a preacher himself. The only way to protect himself from whatever demon is chasing him is to become the very thing that can fight it. I hope Mr. Francis turns out well. I shall check again on him in the future. But for now, this is where we shelf this story. The Lore Keeper is an anthology horror series that I write and voice and produce myself. If you're enjoying the series, it would greatly help me if you leave a like on the video and even comment down below what you like or what you dislike about the stories. It helps me out in the algorithms and helps gets this pushed to other people. And if you really enjoy talking about horror and other things like that, you can join my Discord linked in the description down below to chat with other members of the community. Other than that, I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you next week.